I'm Jake here to talk about Orange ModWorks as a company and the whole SR200 delivery issue. The SR200 issue, of course, let's make sure you know what I'm talking about. The SR200 was Orange ModWorks. It's not their first attempt at a blaster, but it's the first top-end blaster to be delivered to the market, we'll say. And it is a pump action springer with multiple swappable spacers and springs to hit anywhere from 200 feet per second to all the way tunable down to 150 or 200 or 120 for HVZ and local game compatibility. People like me who paid my own, I did actually pay my own money for this. This is not a this was not a blaster sent to me, for review. This was not a blaster that was sent to me as a sponsored thing. I paid my $150 for that blaster. All the way back in the last day of February. And I got mine last week. Yeah. So, I bought it because my birthday is in March, and I bought it with my paycheck there as soon as I got it. I came home, took a look at it in the evening. I was like, you know what? I want that. I'm going to try it. It looks kind of cool. It's unique. It's from Orange ModWorks. It's a company that I've bought parts from for years. I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'd had a couple of times with some of their other projects because it was a pre-order type item. I actually waited for it to come into where it said in stock. It said item will have a 2 to 4 week lead time. Okay, that's fine. 2 to 4 weeks, I can wait on that. I didn't pre-order it. So it said in stock 2 to 4 week lead time, which that's kind of odd. If it's in stock, you don't really have a lead time normally. But that's neither here nor there. So I paid money. It was very late, last day of February, so actually my order I'm sure went through on the first day of March. Again, I bought it as a birthday present to myself. And 2 to 4 weeks, you say, okay, if they're actually going to see my order on the 1st of March, maybe the 2nd if there's some kind of delay. So 4 weeks at worst is in April. It's like, okay, April rolls around. I got nothing. No email, no notifications, no nothing. I haven't heard anything about it shipping a little bit later in April. We're getting to like April 23rd. I get an email notification. It's ready to ship. Fantastic. You're 3 weeks behind schedule already. And it's going to take 3 to 4 days to arrive. I think, and it actually said that was business days. My delivery date was April 28th. Okay. That's great. 3 weeks behind schedule, going on almost 4 weeks behind schedule. Because remember, 2 to 4 week lead time, go the maximum. I should have got it by like the 2nd of April. So now I'm going to get it by the 28th of April. 1st of May rolls around and I still don't have it. This is my true story. 1st of May rolls around. I don't have my blaster. I contact UPS because I put in a ticket to Orange ModWorks when it didn't arrive. I put my ticket in and I was like, my blaster never arrived. My tracking number doesn't work. What's up? And I said, I'm just looking for any kind of a feedback on when I can expect it, what happened, is it lost, yada, yada, yada. Well, I don't hear back from them. I give them like a day or two to respond. Don't hear back from them, so I contact UPS. They said, yeah, we got the tracking number here. It's a valid tracking number, but the label's been created. We haven't been requested to pick up the item. It's not available. It's not ready for pickup yet. They said in our system, the shipper has to signify it's ready for pickup. Well, they never did. It never got picked up. It was never sent yet. Orange ModWorks still had everything there. Turns out, I find out through their Facebook post, I think it was on May 5th, that they caught a lot of the shipments because they'd seen where we all who pay attention to a number of the groups, some people actually did get their SR200s and they found the front grip was snapping off or the rear grip, or they were having breakage issues. And when they looked at the print quality was horrendous. Orange ModWorks says we're looking into the issue. Later, they say that it was a filament and a mix-up on the print requirements. And they said we gave a design to our contractor to print it for us, and they did not stick to the guidelines. Okay. Understandable. Not happy about it. Understandable, but let's get this fixed. Let's get it out. They were saying that they said, give us 3 to 4 weeks and we will have the problem fixed and resolved, hopefully, and get the blaster shipped. Okay. Now we're going from, I should have had it the 1st of April. This is early May. We're a month behind, and now they're saying we're another 3 to 4 weeks out before the revised blasters, when they're going to get this filament and they're going to get the issue with the improper printing solved. So now we're looking at the beginning of June. Like, say, first week of June, roughly. Okay. So, let's keep tabs on this. We're going to hear about it, right? Orange Mod Works is going to keep us up to date. They're going to tell us everything that's going on. Let us know. People who have paid for it, we're going to get an email confirmation of when our new blaster shipped. Right? Right? You're going to do this, right? OMW. You're going to keep us in the loop. You're at least going to make a weekly Facebook post updating the issue. Something. Anything. I got a cricket in here somewhere in the workshop. Where is he? Cue it. No. Oh well. But that's all we heard. Nothing. At all. And it rolls around till later in the summer. Getting into July. Still nothing. I've contacted them in every way, shape, and form. I've made Facebook posts tagging them in it. I've went on their Facebook page and tried to contact them on previous posts they've made. On their SR200 release, I was trying to get at least anything out of them. I sent them emails. I put in more support tickets. I'm trying to find out what is going on. Because I've paid my money for my blaster. We're now literally months behind. The early May post that they'd made is now a month and a half out. You know, we're in July. Nothing. Finally get contacted to become a third round tester. They said, hey, we know of you. We know you're waiting on your blaster. We'd like to see if you'd like to have some input. Because what we're doing right now, the delay is that we're actually working on the blaster. They said we're already behind schedule. We figured we would take the time to try to improve and fix some of the issues. So they actually changed the design a bit. Not just fixing the breaking grips. They changed the filament. They changed the printing contractor, I guess, that was going to do the 3D printing for them. And they supposedly put in a bigger plunger tube, redesigned the breech, upped the reinforcing bars, the priming bars, etc., etc., etc. They listed off a lot of improvements that they were making. I was like, yes, I'll test this. And basically, I wanted to see what was going on, and I wanted to see if I could give some input and actually get my feedback listened to and heard and used. Well, I gave my feedback. I wrote out kind of an essay. There was no strings attached. I didn't have to pay any money. They didn't pay me any money. They sent the blaster and said, hey, test it. Give us the performance. Give us any complaints you have, any positives. Give us your full summary of how you feel about this product. And they said, the only thing they said was, it was an NDA, definitely kind of situation. Don't disclose anything. Don't post pictures. So, yes, I wasn't benefiting in any way, shape, or form, other than I was going to try to give some positive and negative feedback, whichever it needed. And unfortunately, I gave feedback that I thought the blaster was a good base blaster, but it needed to have higher performance. It needed a scar attachment. It needed to include an optic. It needed to include some accessories. It needed to include a stock at the price point it currently was at without it being raised. I don't see any of my feedback being used, unfortunately. They said other people gave them feedback. I don't know. That was all kept secretive. I don't know who the other testers were. at all. I do know that they included on the serial number, it's a serial number with my initials on it. So this is a different kind of serial number. This serial number here signifies the model, and then it has a space, and then it has my initials. The production serial number is just a serial number that takes up that whole same nameplate area with no spaces. So this one is not supposed to ever see, the light of day for anybody else to use it. So, I mean, I've honored that. I've never shared this blaster until these videos here, which I've not, it looks like an SR200. There's very little changes made in between the two that I can visually see, and I don't take blasters apart for testing. That is a absolute cardinal rule for me, is I do not test blasters. I don't take apart blasters before I test them. I test them the way they come. So, gave my feedback after about 500 to 600 shots with this, and now I've tested it more. It's got about 1,000 shots fired on this exact model. No breakage, no issues. It still has the complaints. Doesn't look like they've taken any of my feedback into anything. But this was back in August. I had to actually have the document, the Google document that I wrote up. It was literally felt like I was in high school. I submitted it in paragraph form with bullets and listing the key things that I thought were good about it, key things I thought I needed to improve, and a summary of what I would change before this hits production. And they look like twins. Supposedly things changed. And they said supposedly even after the third round of testing that the performance was improved, but this test example got it in the 180s for velocity with their max setup, and with the same max setup, firing the exact same batch of darts, I only get 170s. So, doesn't look like my feedback was actually taken and used. I could be proven wrong. There may be a stock attachment come out here in a month. And then everybody say, oh, Mongoose Jake, you said they didn't listen. There's your stock. Okay, I said it needed to be included with it. And I said it needed a scar attachment to be included with it. And it needed an optic of some sort. Anything. I don't care if it's just a little slip-on, iron sight set. Slip on one in the front, one back here somewhere, and it could be just 3D printed, just slide on. Something. Don't just give me a $150 blaster that just has a rail on the top. Because even a $50 blaster, like the Nexus Pro, gives me sights. Gives me a stock. No scar, but it's also a third of the price. So I was looking at this premium product, needed to have all the stuff included. Didn't. They did give a pretty cool little tag here. So going forward, I don't see that I can support the full blasters or these projects. Like I supported the pump action or the Slamfire Retaliator Recon Kit. That's never seen the light of day. I did get my refund back from that. The Cybertech line, I supported that. Some people still don't have the refunds from it. And we don't know if that's ever going to see the light of day. I don't know that I can keep supporting the projects. Like I paid my own money for those. I paid my own money for this. And I don't think I can keep doing that. And I certainly can't recommend anybody else. They're products that they have that are like on-the-shelf kind of products that you can just order up right then and get. They're springs. They're kits like the hybrid Retaliator Recon kit that I actually reviewed previously, and I actually recommended if you could get it on sale. I still feel that way. A little less so now, and not anything to do with this, but the fact that this Aeon exists, and this exists, makes it kind of hard to recommend a kit that costs twice what this does when you would have to pay on sale $50 for the Recon and Retaliator hybrid kit, and you can get this for $25. And this does exactly what that kit does, unless you really love your Recon or Retaliator. But that's the kind of thing, I mean, you can buy it. Their hammer shot kits are very nice. You can buy them, get that shipped to you, and have it. It's even on Amazon. You can buy those products and have them in your hand. They're not a project that you have to wait on, and they're right now, like, the batting average is like what, .001. It's like, that batter's never. He's not even going to make little leagues. That's the dude that shows up and swings for the fences, and the only thing he hits is air. That right now is unfortunately what Orange Modworks is doing with their projects and their blasters. Is we finally got this. I got mine finally last week in October. I put the order in the last day. We're going to say the first day of March. They might have got my order actually in by the 2nd of March for a 2 to 4 week delivery time. And all of a sudden, you go from March to April to May to June to July to August to September to October. Counting fingers is easy. It was 8 months. It took about 8 months to get a product that was supposed to be in my hands in 2 to 4 weeks. And it's now, even compared to the counterparts that are out there, I said in my review of it, I have a skewer on the way. I ordered it from Silver Fox Industries. We're going to see how long it takes them to do that. I did it all custom. We'll see. It's going to be special ordered, but we'll see how long. Silver Fox has a good reputation. I've ordered from them before. I've got other blasters that weren't shared on the channel ever before. And like my Esper, I've got that from them. We're going to see. But like the Esper, I would pick it over this. After I modified mine, I would pick it over this. But you've got other options. You can go buy a Striker. You can buy a Nexus Pro. You can go buy all kinds of things now for $150 or less and get similar performance and get it much faster. And one of the things, and I didn't even mention in my review video because I didn't want to just keep hammering on this thing even more, one of the selling points is that it has a warranty. You're supposed to be able to get a free part a year, as part of the deal of being an SR200 owner. How do I know I'm going to get the part? If I break a mag release because I do something, it's supposed to be like a no questions asked. If I break the pump grip, if I need a new front cap, or somehow, I don't think you'd do it, but if you bent one of the support rods that run the full length of the blaster, or what about the breech? What if you cracked it and you need a new one? How long is it going to take me to get one? Can I get one? Will it be next year before I get one? Those are all things that lead me to say I can't support Orange Modworks projects or their full blasters going forward. Their parts, yes. Yes, they've not changed with that. You can order up retaliator and long shot springs and breeches and plunger tubes and triggers and get those. And that's where I'm left. I'll still buy their parts, but I can't support their projects and blasters. Because until the communication and delivery improves drastically, not a little bit, a lot. Because communication was horrendous throughout the whole process, and the delivery was just as bad. The blaster itself is solid enough, but it's not. I don't think it's actually worth the $150 price compared to what's out there. And that's kind of where I'm left. I didn't recommend the blaster in the review video I recorded just before this, and I can't recommend Orange Modworks projects and blasters in general. They're products that are in stock and ready to ship. You can feel free to go ahead and buy those. I like their springs. I always have. And I'll still use those. And there are other options out there for springs, and you might feel more comfortable as basically just saying I don't support it at all, and that's your choice. I'm still going to buy their parts. I'm just not going to go into their projects anymore, and I kind of hate that because it was neat to see them at least try something, but I can't support it. If you can't deliver and you can't do well on it, then why would we keep trying to give support for that? And that's where I'm left, and that's how I'm going to end the video. Orange Modworks, not a horrible company, but they do definitely struggle on the projects and the full blasters. I don't know if that's a understaffing or just not quite set up for that And if that's the case, then maybe they should just dive back into what they're good at. Get us new parts, like new triggers for new blasters. Get us some new plunger tubes. Get us some new breech kits, full blaster kits, like their Retaliator and Hammer Shot kits that we all loved. The Immortal kit that I enjoyed for my long strike. It's like, maybe they should just do more of that. And I'll leave it at that. But this is Mongoose Jake saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this.